Damian Priest is one of modern-day WWE's most pushed and frankly greatest talents. Love him or hate him, he has worked unbelievably hard to get himself into the position we see him in today. And so I want to articulate to you in no uncertain terms how the punishment Priest endured shaped him into the World Heavyweight Champion we see today. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, I first have to thank y'all for hitting and even surpassing the like goal on the Rhea Ripley video to get this one. So if you want to see another video of this same kind except about the career of Finn Balor, I'm gonna set the like goal to 250 likes. If and when we secure that, you can expect a video about the Demon in the very near future. So be sure to subscribe to know when that's up. With all that said, let's get to talking about Damian Priest, aka Punishment Martinez. I also say Punishment Martinez because if you didn't know, Damian entered the WWE system using that name, which was the same he used on the indies. I won't touch on it too much in this video, but he originally trained at the acclaimed Monster Factory in Paulsboro, New Jersey, between the years 2005 to 2015. Around 2014, Martinez would become homeless for a short time, living out of his car while trying to make it in the world of wrestling. During the mid to late 2010s, he would do some time on the indies in the area, as well as work for Ring of Honor from 2015 to 2018, where he would even capture the Ring of Honor World Television Championship during his time there. However, after dropping the title and finishing up his time in Ring of Honor, he would be announced as WWE's latest signee on October 12, 2018. He would have his first match in the promotion on April 5th in NXT against Matt Riddle. Then his repackaging to Damian Priest would see his debut on June 19, 2019, where he would defeat Raul Mendoza. All in all, his NXT run was pretty solid. He would get wins over the likes of Keith Lee, as well as be featured as part of Team NXT during the Survivor Series event later that year. Then the following year, in January of 2020, he would enter a feud with both Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic over the NXT North American Championship, losing in a triple threat match as well as a singles match against Keith Lee for the gold. He would have other notable moments and feuds, such as when he was revealed as the man who attacked Finn Balor, which led to a match between the two of them at TakeOver in Your House. A match that was critically well received by fans and more importantly by Triple H, who, if you didn't know, was running NXT at that time. Additionally, during that feud, Keith Lee would vacate the NXT North American Championship after winning the NXT title, thus opening the door for a massive ladder match to take place for the gold at NXT TakeOver 30, which Priest won and celebrated the title win by hopping in a hot tub in full gear with a bunch of women. I notate this because it kinda doesn't feel like a real segment that happened. Priest would successfully defend this title twice, once against Timothy Thatcher during an episode of NXT, as well as once against Johnny Gargano at TakeOver 31. However, in their follow-up match at NXT TV Special Halloween Havoc, Gargano managed to steal the title away from Priest, ending his title reign at just 65 days. He would look to recapture the gold in a triple threat match against both Gargano and Leon Ruff at NXT TakeOver War Games, but was attacked by a hooded figure who was later revealed to be Austin Theory, aka Gargano's son from The Way. Priest would look for vengeance on Theory for costing him the title, only to then be attacked from behind, this time by Karrion Kross. Kross would demand a match against Priest at New Year's Evil, which Priest accepted and ultimately lost before being called up to the main WWE roster. His first match on said roster would be the Royal Rumble, where he entered number 14 and eliminated 4 superstars, notably the likes of The Miz, Elias, John Morrison, and Kane. Damian would ultimately be eliminated by Bobby Lashley, but all in all, this was a very solid performance and quickly showed that management had seen some promise in Priest. This promise would see him placed in as the tag team partner of Bad Bunny for WrestleMania 37. And while that may not sound like a big deal to some, anyone trusted to work a celebrity appearance in any way is usually a fairly trusted worker, and this showed the confidence the company placed in Priest. Priest and Bunny would then beat Miz and Morrison at the show, and following that he would continue to feud with the pair, notably culminating in what was perhaps the worst brand deal wrestling match ever at WrestleMania Backlash against The Miz, when the pair fought in a zombie lumberjack match as a part of a deal with the movie Army of the Dead. I can guarantee most people want to forget this ever happened, but don't worry, I'll always be here to remind you that it did. Priest would be moved into the US title picture after saving Humberto Carrillo from an attack by then United States champion Sheamus, which led to a match between the Archer of Infamy and the Celtic Warrior at SummerSlam that year. This was overall a pretty solid match, which led to Priest capturing his first title on the main roster. He would hold on to and defend the United States Championship for 191 days, in matches that included a triple threat against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, a triple threat against Sheamus and Jeff Hardy, singles matches against Sami Zayn and Dolph Ziggler, as well as a bunch more before losing the title to then extraordinary man who can do extraordinary things, Finn Balor. However, after losing the title, Priest would go ballistic and turn heel attacking Balor. This turn would later be solidified at WrestleMania 38 during Edge's match against AJ Styles, where Priest would distract the Phenomenal One, thus allowing Edge to pick up the win. This would essentially be the very beginning of the Judgment Day faction, which barely resembles how the group looks today. This heel turn and new Edge, pun intended, offered Priest a chance to be something new, something darker, and perhaps reach heights that he never has before. After the introduction of Rhea Ripley as well as Finn Balor to the group, the younger stars all demolished Edge and showcased how they were going to stand as a dominant force without him. And despite him being surrounded by others portrayed in a very similar light, this was one of the very first times that Priest truly stood out as something special among his peers. What I mean by that is that almost instantly, Judgment Day was placed in a very similar category to the Bloodline. Now, we're not going to compare the two factions for sake of this video veering off the rails, but what I mean by that is that as a group, the inherent idea from even when Edge was running the show was to elevate all those involved in it. And since Priest was the first member really added to the group, it seemed inevitable that he would rise the most within the group. As such, in the ensuing months, he would be pushed pretty well, all things considered. The group, after recruiting Dominic Mysterio, would take on and defeat the likes of the OC, aka AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Michin, proving their worth as a unit. However, as this video is more focused on Damian Priest, the first signs of a real and major push would of course come at Backlash in San Juan, Puerto Rico, where he would stand opposed to the man he tagged with at WrestleMania 37, Bad Bunny. I bring this matchup for a few key reasons. First, it was a ton of fun, which the crowd really came alive for. Second, this is now the second time Priest of all people was trusted to work with Bunny, who is a major star. This level of trust to carry Bunny throughout the match and make it entertaining was something that instantly caused reports to flood in that the names in charge were high on Damian Priest, meaning it was really only a matter of time before he was given a shot at something truly amazing. That shot, as we all know, came at Money in the Bank, when he secured the briefcase as well as the contract inside. Now, was his booking as Mr. Money in the Bank something I was very critical of in the past? Yes. Do I still feel the way that I felt then? Also, yes. While being Mr. Money in the Bank, Priest would be involved near the top of the card on Raw, as after capturing the undisputed tag team championships from Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, he would feud with the likes of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins respectively. His and Finn's second run as the undisputed tag champs was also fairly good. And yes, I specifically say second because this happened.
On me though, I would be a two-time undisputed tag team championship.
Anyways, yeah, the Judgment Day did a really solid job running the tag division, taking on and taking down many teams like the Street Profits, the Creeds, DIY, New Catch Republic, among many others. And despite this success alongside Finn Balor, Priest would be yet to truly shine, as across the months since him winning the briefcase, we saw him unsuccessfully attempt cashing in on Seth Rollins several times over. It honestly became a meme online that he just didn't know how to do a cash in. However, that all would change at WrestleMania, as after losing the undisputed tag titles during the 6-team ladder match, Priest would of course finally cash in his contract on Drew McIntyre to secure the World Heavyweight Championship. And that's more or less where we're up to right now. He's going to be defending that title for the very first time in France on Saturday at Backlash, and honestly, I'm really interested in seeing what he does with the gold. Not everybody is on board with him being in this position right now, and that's fine. But if you're not, or if you're just unsure, let him cook. He has the look, he has the right promos, he has all the tools to be a credible World Heavyweight Champion. And if we give him enough time, I'm sure he will surprise all of us with what he's capable of. And that was the incredible rise of Damian Priest. Is his run as the top guy on Raw gonna rock, or is it gonna stink? And what matches are you looking forward to him having as World Heavyweight Champion? Let me know in the comments down below. And hey ho, while you're headed down that way, it would help me out immeasurably if you leave the video a like, and remember, if we hit 250 likes on this video, I'll be sure to make one about Finn as well. So be sure to subscribe if you want to catch that one as it releases. All that said, I hope you stay safe out there, and that was Dylightful.